Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. So today I've been struggling with finding the inspiration and just finding a sound that worked for me. So nothing really worked, but I still thought that, hey, let's not just abandon and not do anything. Instead I thought, well, why don't we kind of go live all together and so today I've been struggling with finding there's another dude who wants to go live, and we can cheer each other up. So the first thing I'm going to do is tweak my noise gate. Ah, that's better. That's much better. Second thing I'm going to do is play my guitar, and that always gets me into the mood. But today, not quite. And what finally did it was just going back to the roots and just dial in a heavy sound, a high gain sound. That's really a tip I can give you. If nothing else works, just go back to maybe the reason why you started playing and why why you play guitar in the first place. That always seems to work for me, at least. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Whoa, love the finish of the guitar. This is actually not a Les Paul. It's a vintage. I think it's called V100. And I did a little bit of modding to it. I removed a bit of wood, put in some other pickups and some crazy heavy string gauge, so 12 to 62. That's some really crazy stuff. And now it's heavy. Who would have thought? Yeah, Macon, what's up? By the way, I missed you guys on Instagram yesterday because I was broadcasting outside, and Instagram doesn't allow me to multi-stream from my phone. But now I'm in the studio, I can see Instagram from the computer. Oh yeah! Soul Park, doing good. TikTok, what's up? Lots of people here. I guess don't produce them now, only Harley Bentham. What? No, I think vintage, you can definitely find vintage guitars. Can you do black metal? No. Reported for being... Is that black metal? No, black metal is more like... Sorry. Shouldn't even try. Hugo, thank you. Airbus, thanks so much for subscribing, man. Must be doing something right. So I just noticed that I have comments all over my face. Maybe we can solve that. Yeah, this is bad. Come down, Wyoming. Oh, my farm is short staffed. I like it. Sinai, what's up? Hugo, shout out to my friend to Mexico. Awesome. Let's see if I heard voices for real or if it was in my head. Just a second. There were actually voices. Just gotta check we don't have any thieves coming here. Okay, let's do some more. So these are actually Gibson, what they call Burst Buckers Pro. Sine, I'm a really crappy singer, so I can't give you an advice. D-Band, good to see you again. Ooh, Mick has improved his technique thanks to my videos. You have a question. How can I make my tapping more precise? Very cool. So tapping, let's see if we can tap a little bit. Wow! So tapping is hard to be precise with. But the one thing I think that makes a huge difference is having the amount of control so that you can actually produce sound with your left hand. Because tapping obviously involves moving the right hand from the picking position up to the neck. So you're not in a good position to kind of help with the right hand. The right hand is busy. So if you're having problems producing notes with the left hand only, that's kind of going to limit you. So this is key when tapping to produce sound with the left hand and without noise, because it's very easy to, get noise. But again, your right hand isn't there to mute. So you gotta be able to tap notes without getting lots of noise. Like that. Otherwise, you're gonna have to have these dampeners and stuff like that. So that will be my number one tapping advice. My number two tapping advice, this is a mistake I made when starting out, was to tap downwards. You have to think of tapping as being legato. You're hammering on and then you're pulling off. Pull us, whatever. I can't play Still Waiting. I don't know what that is. And I don't play cover songs. Sorry, mate. So if you want to do tapping, you're gonna hammer on the notes the same way you would hammer on with the left hand. And then you're gonna pull off the same way you pull off with the left hand. The only difference is, since the left hand is coming from this direction, you're gonna have to pull downwards. Whereas the right hand is coming from this direction, you're gonna pull upwards. That took me a long time to understand. So what I did was I pulled downwards, and that's hard to do because you have to move your whole arm, whereas upwards is super easy. So, don't do downwards. I don't know what I was thinking when I learned it that way. So let's try some more and see if I can throw in some tapping. That's right, Guitar Bustion is right. I don't do any cover songs. But it's too early. I need to warm up a little bit before I can truly throw in those tapping runs. Thank you, Bob, for digging the sound. You're hearing the Marshall Origin with a Friedman BEOD going into it. Damn, you're good. Thank you, Polazzi. Which is more impressive, fast alternate runs or economy runs? I think both are impressive, but I prefer the sound of true alternate picking. But both are needed and both have their strengths and weaknesses. It's just both are also very, very difficult. I couldn't even tell you which one. I think economy is a bit more improvisation friendly, but when we're speaking about the high speeds, there really isn't much improvisation happening anyway. So yeah. Yeah, we got Bojam here from Facebook. Suggest a good legato lick while improvising. Okay, let's work a little bit on that. Juan on Instagram, what's up? Don't do that in the middle of the run. One more time. So I basically shut the guitar off there. I thought I didn't know that I didn't have any volume on the bridge pickup. So I did this. I was playing, and then I was gonna do this. I go and play some rhythm. But instead I shut the guitar off. So I did this. That's pretty funny actually. Let's try to do it right. One more time. So back to legato now. A bit of economy picking. That's what I tried to do. One more time. And I messed up. I don't know why I'm trying to do this before having warmed up, but I get all these cool questions. Maybe I should start warming up before the sessions again. I used to do that, but then I stopped because I felt I lost so much live streaming time. But now I got an idea. Maybe I should start by doing live streaming like only for members or something when my warm up. And then when I'm warmed up, maybe I should go public. It's an idea, we'll see. Why do some manufacturers make 22 frets guitars and not 24? Is it just for profit so they sell more expensive instruments? No. It has nothing to do with that. It's related to construction, right? Different constructions allow for 24 and some don't. For example, the further back you push the neck pickup, the less warm it's going to sound. The reason we have on this guitar, for example, 2 pickups, because this pickup is picking up the brightness which happens here on the string. You can hear that if I'm not plugged in. This is very bright, whereas this is much warmer. The difference isn't huge when I'm not amplifying, but it gets big, when you plug into stuff. So if you have 24 frets, it's gonna push the pickup backwards. Now, some people are ready to sacrifice warmth for reach. Other people are not. Then other factors come into play as well, but it's really just, you can't have the pickup, or at least not with our current level of innovation. We can't have the pickup inside of the fretboard. It needs to be after the frets. So that's why 22 or 24 is actually crucial for which sound you're gonna get from this pickup. But one cool thing is, I always wanted a guitar with just one pickup, and that should leave you lots of space for a super good reach. I'm not in a band currently, sorry man. So we had a question about the legato pattern, and I was just shredding and didn't give you a legato pattern. Love your stuff. Thank you, Amrit on Instagram. So the one legato pattern that really got me started playing legato was this 6-note pattern. And if we're in E minor, now of course I'm tuned down to C, so, but the shape is E minor. We're gonna play 15, and then we're gonna pull off to 12. So, and then we play 14, 15, 14, 12. Okay, so the whole thing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So one more time, just the notes. 15, pull off to 12. Hammer on to 14, hammer on to 15, pull off, back to 14, pull off to 12. So we get 6 notes. Now with a bit of Holy Peak, my brother, Rihi, what's up on Instagram? So it's a good exercise. I play it diatonically in E minor. And the best is if you don't need picking at all. Because then you can polio. Guitar Bastion, I would love to meet you too. If you come to Stockholm, we can jam and we can live stream our jam here. That would be awesome. Can I play lead for one of your videos? Send me the video, man, and I'll check it out. Niklas is asking in Swedish, do you have any tips for how I can pick more cleanly? In Swedish it's, har du något tips på hur jag kan picka mer rent? So let's warm up a little bit. Ouch, and I messed up. Clean it is again. I probably need to think of a better strategy and not throw myself into these live streams not being warmed up. But anyhow, for clean picking, in the end it's going to be about synchronization, right? But I think most people understand that and still can't fix their picking, and that is because synchronization, it is tempting to think that you practice synchronization with both hands, right? Because you're practicing how the hands interact. So both gotta be involved. But that's a little mistake, I think. Instead, synchronization is about making sure both hands are up for the task. And what I find in many students is that the left hand is not. So in many times, people are working on their picking, but the left hand is suffering. So what you should do instead is work on your legato and then try picking and see what happens. So that would be my advice actually, but it's hard to, it depends a little bit on, I would preferably have to see you actually, because some people don't have that issue at all. So it depends a little bit. Guitar Bastion, which country are you in, man? I'm in Stockholm, Sweden. So we had a question about the guitar. No, this is a vintage V100 guitar. So it's not at all an expensive Gibson guitar. Yeah, exactly, Ton Guitarra. For a lot of people, the left hand is going to be the limit, even when they're picking. So yeah, but picking is, if you're going to pick every note, that's really hard for the right hand as well. So to me, fast picking is probably one of the most difficult things you can do on the guitar. For that reason, when improvising with picking, I tend to mix in a lot of legato to make it a little bit easier, I can't freaking bend in tune this guitar because I never play lead. This has like an 012 to 62 gauge. And I never play lead, but I probably should play lead on this guitar because it's actually pretty good. Let's try bending. Okay, now I got it finally after like 5 attempts. There we have it. Not quite. Okay, so Rihi is asking on Instagram, how much practice until your fingers can move so quickly? So there's a general saying out there that it's 10 years, and I pretty much agree with that. But even after 10 years on the guitar, just because you can pick fast, maybe it doesn't sound that good yet. I know that I was pretty fast after 10 years, but I sounded pretty bad as well. So Amrito is asking on Instagram, any tips on freestyling on guitar? I get so tense while playing. I'm not sure what you mean. Do you mean like improvising with runs? Whether you're improvising or doing something else, if you're tense, usually means that you're kind of pushing speed. In fact, a lot of the practicing, at least for me, is about working on controlling tension. Actually, that's critical for mastering the guitar. It doesn't matter if you want to play fast or not. So you do that by practicing below your comfort speed, so you have the time to think about being relaxed, like this. This should be extremely relaxed because it's so slow, and it should be super precise, no mistakes. Very relaxed. And there I start messing up. So again. Hi there, Fabricio. Tone guitar, don't kill your fingers. So true. Lots of good questions. I can barely keep up. I could play faster on my Strat, I think. It's not quite as chunky as this guitar. This is relaxed practicing. So in my ideal warm-up, I would sit like that for 40 minutes, and then I would play these the same runs, but much more effortlessly and with less mistakes. So, you know that. Why do I have 012 to 62 on this guitar? That's a very good question, Guitar Bastion. And the reason is that I intended it to be my heavy guitar, you know, for heavy rhythm. And it is now. It's definitely doing a very good job at that. But for some reason today, I thought I was going to do this live stream with heavy rhythm, and I ended up playing lead. But I also ended up realizing that it works pretty good for lead. So I'll just keep doing it because it gives me a different sound. Okay. on Instagram. I can't bend in tune on this guitar. It's almost impossible. Because I've almost never played a 012 guitar with lead, you know, so. That works. Drift Taddick, you love the tone, that's awesome. What you're hearing is the Marshall, what's it called? I forgot. Origin 28. And I plug like a Friedman BOD into the amp. I think I'm getting senile or something. What's the word? Jacob, yeah, Gibsons are awesome. This is not a Gibson though, it's a vintage icon, but I do get the point. Gil Herma, what's up? Amrito, no problem, keep on rocking, you too, man. Kenny, I'm in C standard, so this would be like C minor, though I'm playing the shapes of E minor, but the sound is going to be C minor. Hey, I can economy pick at 138 notes, but sometimes there's a lot of dead notes, especially if I'm not warmed up. Any tips? Yes, that's a good question. So you're practicing pretty fast, but you have all these notes that are not ringing out clearly. What do? Well, first of all, congratulations for noticing that. You want to notice that in time, because the later you realize you have that issue, the harder it is to fix it. Because what you're doing when you're sitting there practicing 130 BPM and you have all these dead notes, basically notes that are not in sync, is you are consolidating a bad habit that's going to be hard to get rid of. So you have to make sure that when you're practicing, your hands are sync and everything sounds good. I'm a big believer in, not practice make perfect, but practice something perfect, if that makes sense. So I don't like practicing anything that has mistakes in them. If that happens, and if I can't fix it immediately by, focusing better, I will slow down or change the exercise or address the issue. That's the most effective solution. If you know what's causing it, you can just work on that. So that is also why I think some people who see me shred would be surprised to know how slowly I practice when I sit down and practice. I don't practice at this tempo trying to push beat. Just because I can play like that, practicing at this tempo is not effective, because I'm not interested in playing that much faster. I'm interested in sounding better and coming up with new cool licks. I can't do that when playing fast. do that if I try to play at this tempo. You know? So I'm gonna slow down, whether it's because I wanna clean up my technique, or if I just wanna be more creative with my lines. There are plenty of good reasons to play below your comfort speed. And that is also the solution to your problem when you say you have dead notes. You gotta slow down, make sure you can play perfectly. I've noticed a scary trend among students who have that issue is that they are often unable to play the run at at any tempo they choose, because often I will ask people, okay, that run you did, that was cool, but can you play perfectly? And they're like, yeah, sure. And like, no, that wasn't perfect. And they're like, okay. And they slow down a bit more. It's like this. No, that wasn't perfect. And they keep slowing down, and it doesn't matter how slow they play, there are still lots of mistakes. Now, the good news, of course, is once they realize that, it's a pretty quick fix. Because when you realize that you have to slow down substantially, then all of a sudden you have all this time to fix these mistakes. So it's not like you can't repair it, because I was there myself. I had to go back and clean up everything. But it's just that people don't realize it. It's not until you sit down and say, well, play at half the speed, but now I want it perfect. It's like, oh yeah, that's easy. And I was like, no, that wasn't perfect. What? It wasn't? No, you got to work on that. So yeah, and that probably applies to a good 90% of the people watching this, because we guitarists, we tend to always want to play fast. That's just a mistake we all do. My playing is insane. Thank you, Bangladesh. Thank you so much. Legato runs don't include dead notes. It's only economy, and I don't use alternate. Oh. So yeah, economy is well, it's harder with whenever you involve the right hand, because that's usually when you might hit a note that isn't being fretted, right? So typically legato is going to be a bit more precise. Exactly. If you're practicing correctly too much, your muscles are learning the wrong way. They can relearn. It's not a big issue, but it does take time. So it's a bit like, you're going to walk up for that high mountaintop. And what do? You bring all your stuff, or you realize when you're on the top that you have to go down and get something? No, it doesn't make sense. So do everything right from the beginning as you make your way to the top. That's all I can say. Okay. Oh yeah, let's warm up now. I did it again, so I have to stop doing that stuff. Let's fine-tune the sound a little bit for lead. Sorry, Aidan, I don't do any cover songs, but it's great to see we have a Twitch user. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I'm shutting the guitar off. Thank you, Bangladesh. Thank you so much. Den burmesiske mannen kommenterar att du ska skapa ett konto. What the hell does that mean? I got a super weird comment on Instagram. We had a question about synchronizing right and left hand when sweeping. You know, how do you? Well, here's part of the answer. I've practiced like this many times. So what am I doing? I'm practicing with my left hand only. And that's one of the ways I use, of the techniques and exercises I use to hone in on the left hand only. Because synchronizing is not only about practicing both hands together, even though that's the obvious thing. It's also about making sure both hands are prepared for playing together. And in, I would say, 70 to 80% of all cases, it's the left hand that's giving people problems. So do practice the left hand only. The right hand should be here to mute, but it doesn't have to pick. And see, I'm not picking. I'm just muting. And same with legato. Like 3 upper string stuff. And when you do add the picking, you know, like it just sounds better and gives you more control. But the key is really to practice the left hand separately. Sorry, Mitsu Panthers, I don't do covers. I messed up. Okay. Two now. Not that bad, actually. Okay, I need to do some adjustments here. I still just, you know, I put these strings on, even though they're much thicker than what was on here before, just to see if I liked it. But now that I liked it, I think I'm gonna have to check the what's it called, the saddle here, and make sure the slots are big enough. So that's probably next thing I'm gonna do with this guitar. Whoa, Fran, thank you. Thank you, Renus. Big thanks, man. What am I doing now? Kenny, I have an LTD MH1000 and it's a cool guitar. Miguel from Argentina, ¿cómo está? Big thanks, Bangladesh, for your kind words there. It's interesting you see all these elements in my playing because I do a lot of blues and neoclassical stuff, so yes, and everything in between. I just think that whenever I sit down and practice, what I'm trying to do is just combine all the different things I know, and those are things that I practiced. And it's also some extremes, right? You have blues on one side and neoclassical on the other. When you combine them, it's an interesting mix. It's a bit like sugar and chili or something like that. Sabina from Nepal, how you doing, man? So obviously neoclassical would be this kind of thing, right? Christopher or Gibson age? What is that? This is not a Gibson, unfortunately. That would be the neoclassical, right? And then maybe some... That would be the blues, right? So if we combine that, so... Dan on Instagram. Just soon on Facebook. Of course, that's a bit Zach Wildish with the heavy strings, right? If I maybe like to turn on the chorus pedal. I don't really like this sound, but it's very Zach Wildish. Actually, he probably sounds better with this sound. I don't know. Should probably dial in the chorus a bit more. Ouch. Dan is asking, how long have you been learning guitar? Whew, around 30 years. Did I train my hands? They're fucking huge. I don't think you can train your hands so they grow bigger. So no, I don't train them that much except for practicing. Questions coming from Instagram now. So, first of all, Alvaros is saying, sounds like Megadeth. Yeah, I love Martin Friedman, so that could be it. And thank you, Dan, for the great words. Now, Matt is asking, what's the thing about the arm sleeve? Yeah, this is actually my wife's leg warmer. I stole it from her. She doesn't know about it, so she's super cold. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no one used it, of course. That's why I took it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been allowed. It would have been dangerous for me. But anyhow, it's just to keep me warm without having a sweatshirt or something. It tends to get hot when I play. The tubes are glowing and there's just sweat all over the place. So, you know, I want to have a t-shirt but still want to be warm. You know, it's the explanation isn't that fancy, you know. Thank you, JNS. Do we have a better beat somewhere? That's it. Cool, so we have another great question by Matt on Instagram. How do I get out of the trap of playing the same licks over and over again? So there are two ways you can go about this. Instead of trying to avoid to play that lick which you always play it even more and come up with variations of it. So that you can just blaze around the whole fretboard with that one lick, you know, maybe, you know, whatever it is, like, or something, you know, like something, just move it around and make it sound even crazier. That's one approach. The other one is to realize that you need to learn new material. And the reason why this tends to happen is, you know, we start by being beginners. We don't know anything. Everything we play sounds like crap. And we kind of stick through that stage, and all of a sudden we know a couple of licks, of riffs, some songs. That makes us feel really good about ourselves. So what do? We play more of that. We get better at those. Now we feel really good about ourselves. And we just keep doing that. And we know those things so damn well. You know, if someone watches you play, you can instantly play that lick and they're going to be impressed. So would you go back and just all of a sudden learn something that makes you feel like a beginner again? No, you don't, because that makes you feel bad about yourself. But here lies the issue, right? You have to accept that we're all beginners at the things we don't master. There's no way around that. So you can either, kind of close your eyes to that phenomenon and just keep on doing what you do well so you feel good about yourself, or you can accept that 50% of your practice time you are going to feel shit about yourself. But that's the only way to make long-term gains. Otherwise, you're going to be like so many other people and feel super stuck in a rut. That's how you get stuck in a rut. You play the stuff you feel comfortable with. You play the stuff that makes you feel good about your ability. And you're going to be more and more and more stuck in a rut. And by the way, this is true for life in general. Expose yourself to new things, new challenges. Otherwise, you're going to just end up being grumpy. That's how it is. Icing Keeler is here. What's up, my man? Oh, Bangladesh plays guitar, but his wife doesn't like it. That doesn't sound like fun. If the guitar is important, you should explain that to her. Say, this is my life. I love it. If you love me, you got to love the guitar. That's how it is. Just, look yourself in the mirror and think of the things she likes the most. Do you support her with those? If you do, then there's definitely an unfair unbalance or something in your relationship. But maybe you do the same. Maybe she loves, I don't know, makeup or something, and you hate it. And you show her that you hate it. Then I guess she's going to give that back to you. But, communication is key. Explain to her what's important for you. And listen, if she replies and says, well, this is important to me, and you don't do that. It's like, okay, tell me more about it, and I can improve. Exactly, Crash Out Carl. That's a good comparison. It's like the gym. On the gym, if you feel like you've been going to the gym for like years and you've stopped improving, you had some periods where you had some really cool gains, but not anymore. Then maybe you need to, try some new exercises. That's what it's all about. Beautiful guitar. Thank you, Inkrabtania. Sorry for butchering your username. This is a vintage vintage V100. That's what it's called. Okay, let's play. Let's turn up the volume and then let's play. one, man. Hola, how far? What's up? Good to catch you again, man. I messed up. It was a fun beat though. Comment jouer un deben? What is a deben? You're gonna have to translate that for me. James, what's up? Can I do some unison bend? Let's try it. Yes, this is a guillotine. Ever since I got it, my students do their homework. It's funny how that works, you know. I used to struggle, making them really work hard, but now, nobody arrives here without having done their homeworks. So if you're teaching someone something, get a guillotine, put it in the room, and they'll start listening to you much more carefully. It really works. Jacqueline, what's up? I'm really happy you liked my open chords tutorial. Boy, I was very pleased to see that. So Ola, I have injured my hands, and it happened when I was pretty young, and I was practicing guitar all night. And at the end, I was so tired I couldn't hold my head up, and I was sort of also dreaming about falling asleep practicing and then waking up and being really good. So I was practicing like that, which is the worst thing you can do, really. So yeah, I ended up not being able to play the guitar for 6 months. I was happy, I think it was my mom recommended a chiropractor, and he actually fixed the issue for me. And now, of course, I'm much older and much more prone to getting such an injury. So if I don't keep up with it, like some kind of physical exercise, I get that issue pretty quickly as well, or any issue related to playing, because we have to face that playing the guitar is not something your body is enjoying at all. Your body wants to go outside and move. It doesn't want to sit on the chair and play guitar. Your mind might be happy about it, but your body is not. And the older you get, the more that's going to become an issue. So yeah, I've had the issue, and I will get it again unless I really take care of myself. So I'm trying to do that. I actually went out jogging today for the first time this year. Just 15 minutes, but still felt good. Hopefully there'll be more of that. Stop playing. I draw the London Bridge Leaning Tower of Pisa. Don't understand. Did you draw the London Bridge or the Tower of Pisa? Oh, it was leaning. In 5th grade. Okay, well, that sounds like fun. I really can't figure out when and how to use the pentatonic scale. Cool question, Amy. So I have a counter question to that. Can you play any pentatonic licks? Second question, can you play any solos that use extensive pentatonic licks and play that with the actual solo? If your answer is no to any of those, then that's gonna solve the issue. The thing is, a scale on itself isn't very helpful. I mean, I can certainly understand the confusion. You know, you're starting out, you're learning your first chords, and all of a sudden, when you can play 2 chords, you can almost play a song. So it is kind of close at hand to think, well, if I want to learn my first solos, I'm going to learn a scale, and then I'll probably be able to play a solo. But it doesn't work like that at all. A scale is just a framework, and you can play a solo. You cannot play a solo until you can play licks, patterns, and phrases. So that's, you know, in a good 90% of the cases, that seems to be the issue when people are struggling with any scale. Yoko from Sweden, hur är läget? Hoppas allt är väl med dig denna underbara torsdagskväll. We had some sun here in Sweden this afternoon. I hope you were out and enjoyed it. Read it on Instagram. What's up? Thank you, Yoko, for digging my playing. In Swedish, fy fan vad bra det här means holy hell or something, how good you are. Or, I can't even translate, but he likes my playing and I'm happy. Okay. Allah, I hope it's gonna get better with your tendonitis. It is a major issue for anybody who spends a lot of time with the guitar, especially when you're in your mid-40s like me, and I can't imagine it's gonna get any easier. On the contrary, I know it's gonna get much worse. So the only way to do that is really try to take care of your body as much as possible. I know how to play the pentatonic scale. Oh, and we have Chris Jenkins who has carpal tunnel. That's, sorry to hear that, man. And hope to catch you soon again. Scott Brown, how you doing, man? Good to see you here. I know how to play the pentatonic scale. I have been playing guitar like for the past 4 years. Now I'm on to lead, but can't really figure out. Okay, Amy, you can play the pentatonic scale, but can you play licks? Do you know any cool licks? You know. So I can play the pentatonic scale like this. I mean, it's correct, but it doesn't sound very good. I can play the second position as well. What I need to do is play a lick like that. You know, that's a classic slash lick, you know. Or maybe some classic Jimi Hendrix, Kirk Hammett. It's still the pentatonic scale, but it sounds really different. So if we combine those licks, and maybe we can play some bends that we practiced with a solo, like playing to the original recording. So if we combine all of that, you know, or we can do. So it's very different from just playing the scale, you know. Again, we need to learn those licks and phrases, otherwise it's just gonna sound bad. I hope it makes sense. Yeah, true. Better to get carpal tunnel from playing guitar and not from an office job. Though I think the reality is, I think for many of us, it's the combination, you know. You sit down all the time. You know, you do your office job and then you want to play guitar, so you sit down during the day and sit down in the evening. And that's really, what's the word, untenable. You can't go on like that. You need to squeeze in at least 1 hour of like full body training, or you're just gonna die. Well, we are gonna die, but you get my point. Any suggestion on how to alternate pick up and down the string smoothly? Is it the position of the pick or the placement of the hand that makes a difference? It's all of it and much more. I wish there were an easy way to explain that. Alternate picking is a huge topic. It's so hard to just try to squeeze it into one thing. But I think the best thing I can say is it kind of depends. What type of licks are you looking to play? Because the picking technique is going to be completely different. You know, if you want to play 3-note per string, Yngwie, if you want to do 2-note per string, Zakk Wylde, or whatever. And also, what sounds do you prefer? Do you want that aggressive picking, like alternate picking sound, or are you okay with somewhat less aggressive economy picking? Because that's going to open up some possibilities and so on and so forth. So it's so hard to say, but I don't know. To me, alternate picking is the most difficult technique there is. Everything else is easier, you know? You name it. Legato, tapping, sweeping, everything else is easier. Alternate picking is so hard to get up to speed. The problem is, even if you can play super fast, then maybe you haven't practiced the picking that sounds really good, you know, this type of picking. You know, are you looking to, I mean, so yeah, it's insanely hard to answer, but it's good that you are thinking about those details, because they all matter, you know? Again, depending on what you want to do. Some things matter less for some styles of picking, but it's, you know, I look at it as a thumb joint being what gives you the precision, whereas the wrist kind of gives you the overall movement, and actually the arm is going to be involved. That's to give you the speed boost. It's just a very generic explanation. Yeah, sounding clean with alternate picking is hard, and it really depends on what type of licks. I think the hardest is 3-note per string if you want to do strict picking, but with 3-note per string you can often get away with like faking a little bit. When I do this kind of thing, it might look like I'm, you know, picking a lot, but there's a lot of legato going on there, and a lot of if I have a good day, there might be lots of real alternate picking going on. If I have a bad day, there's almost no real alternate picking, lots of legato. And if I have, also a good day, but sometimes I'll throw in economy picking. I find it pretty hard as well to do that. Today is not a good day though for that. Yeah, exactly. And if I have a bad day, I will rely a lot on legato, and the left hand is going to do a lot of work. So true. Okay, guys, I'm going to have to end this session now, but it's been a lot of fun, and I really like the fact that you guys are asking me so many cool questions, and also just we have such a good discussion. It doesn't even have to be questions, just interesting discussion, and it definitely, I feel that I am ending this session in a much better mood than I started it, and it's all thanks to you. So I want to thank you for that, and I hope we'll meet soon again, because you guys are awesome. I've been Chris Vidal. See ya. Cheers.